Since March, I feel like we've been on this really long Lent of a pandemic existence and a quarantined, sort of locked down life.
We've been praying for an end to the pandemic. We've been fasting from loving connection. We have the mass crucifixion around us of COVID deaths, but we also have the deaths from systemic racism, anti-queer and anti-trans violence, and the other oppressions that sicken our society.
I feel like all of my good habits and patterns have been flipped on their head. I didn't realize how much the physicality of going to church was important for me.
In my history, in engaging with Lent, I used to use like a shame-based rejection of myself. I would try to give up one of my desires in order to spiritualize it in some way. And for me, that never worked. I was never able to come to Jesus by giving up chocolate.
You don't want to use it as a time to just punish yourself and think that God wants you to, somehow torture yourself for like 40 days, and you also don't want to, kind of blow it off and take it lightly as it's an opportunity to grow.
The community that I grew up in pays much more attention to the exuberant carnival that happens right before Lent than it does to fasting and, emulating Jesus's time in the desert.
You're encouraged to meditate on someone loving you so much they would die for you. But so much of my religious upbringing has been reinforcing this idea that I'm actually kind of unlovable and kind of inherently broken.
So this Lent, I'm doing something a little bit different.
As a queer Catholic adult, I am learning what it means to be a Catholic and a Jesus follower by spending my time during Lent becoming better at loving my neighbor as myself and understanding that the rest is commentary.
I've identified that what is keeping me from the love of God in my life is my own inner voice, my own inner critique. So I am going this Lent to prayerfully fast from that.
And Lent is like a time to push past that and see myself as wholly redeemable and not somehow inherently broken and disordered.
It's also a time for me to give back to my community, to my people, and to those that are in need. Because I have definitely been in those places, and Jesus continues to give back, and I want to be here to help do that.
This year, though, I see Lent as a journey towards authenticity. Just as Jesus traveled through the desert, searching for God outside of him, inside of him, I too am similarly doing that.
Lent for me really is an intentional time where I seek Christ in the other. And even though us as queer siblings are a part of this other in the larger church, I really do feel like it's our responsibility to reach out, bring them closer to us, bring them into the church, and fight for them to have a seat at the table.
And as a person of trans experience, I know that transition is not the word that I like to use. Rather, I'd like to actualize the divinity already inside of me. At the end, in the resurrection, all of me will actually be there.